Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to do another build, but this time we're going to do Intel. So let's get started. So first of all, we need to pick a retailer. So today we're going to go with a different one, and the retailer of our choice will be PC Case Gear. The reason why we're choosing them, just because we want a bit of change from UMart, plus it sort of looks nice with the visual style that they have. And the website itself is quite intuitive, and it has quite good pictures that we can use to look at all of the components that we need. Alright, so let's get started. So first of all, let's pick a CPU. Alright, so let's get started. So first of all, we're gonna pick our CPUs. So we are focusing on the new Intel 1851 Core Ultra platform. So let's have a look. Will try to sort them out by price, so we'll have low at the start. So to start with, the starting price is 409, so it's already a bit hefty, so we got to be mindful of all the components because our budget is $1,500 in this case, and we need to pick all of the components including a GPU, which will be an Intel GPU as it's an Intel only build, but we still got to be mindful of the price because being a new platform, the motherboard will be a bit pricey too, but we'll see what sort of options we have. So the 225F, so the F stands for no iGPU, but since we're going to use an external GPU anyway, so it doesn't really matter to us. But in this generation, you want to pay attention to the core count. So Intel has dropped hyper-threading, which means we only got 6 cores and 4 E-cores. And if we go down further for the KF model, they actually have 4 more E-cores, so we might actually pick the KF in this case. We are paying a bit more for this model, but in the long run it will be good to have more cores because that's 10 against 14, so we'll go with 14 for sure. So that's CPU sorted. So let's pick a motherboard next. Okay, so next up we're going to look at the motherboard. So we can go into the motherboard section and we're going to look for Intel 8155. Sometimes it's referred as 15th gen. Some people just call it the Ultra series. So just make sure you're picking the right motherboard. So again, we'll sort it out by low to high. And so we got 2 GB options. Okay, so we got the 60 series motherboards, which means we can't do any overclocking on this on these motherboards. But being a budget or mid-budget PC, we are really not focusing on getting the most out of the overclocking, because that's gonna require a 90 series motherboard, which are a bit pricey because we haven't even seen one yet. Okay, here we go. So the base 90 series motherboard is $400, which will slightly blow our budget. So let's just stick with the B660, and I had a look at these motherboards already, and Intel has done a pretty good job because even the PCI port is now 5.0, which is good. And since we are gonna have the system for a while, we do want some upgradability. So 4 DIMM slot are good. Let's just bring up the picture so we have a better look at the motherboard that we're gonna deal with. So we're gonna have 4 DIMM slots, 1 PCI slot, and we're gonna have a M.2 slot. So it looks like we have all of the basic connectors that we need. And yeah, we're gonna have an 8-pin EPS connector, obviously a 24-pin. We have a Type-C connector, a front USB 3 header, and obviously all of the other smaller headers like the RGBs, your TPM, your front IOs, front audio. So yeah, I'm happy with this board. Looking at the connectivity, so not too happy with the number of USBs that we see at the back, but given the price, it is pretty good. And also, I'm not a big fan of this new style of connectors because it just takes away the flexibility of us using some third-party or short antennas from AliExpress. From what I can see, it just goes in as one piece, and it just makes it a bit hard. Alright, so another thing we want to pay attention to is the RAM capacity and the RAM speeds. We know it should be a DDR5, but let's just check out the speeds which are offered. And obviously I know it would be hidden somewhere, so we just need to keep scrolling. Okay, here we go. So up to 9000 MTS. That's pretty high, so that at least gives us the max number of what we can aim for. And let's add this motherboard. Okay, and that's bringing our total up to 728. So we are half of our budget already, so we need to be mindful of what we select next. So we still need to pick a GPU, a case, power supply. We got to pick some RAM and some storage to get this, and we want to do that all under $1,500. So let's actually pick our GPU next. Alright, so let's check out some graphic cards next. So being an Intel build, let's focus on the Intel B series. And we sort of know the card we want to get, that's the B580. But it seems to be out of stock, so we have to pick one of the other ones. So Sparkle with a triple fan design is only $10 more. And does it offer any more boost clocks? That's 2740 on the Sparkle. And okay, so we have a bit of boost clock, boosted by an extra 100 megahertz. So yeah, that's good. I'm happy picking up a triple fan design just because it will keep it cool. Don't get too many fans. The GPU can just suck in all of the air it wants to. So that's bringing our total to 1207. So we are very close to 1500. So got about $300 left. And let's pick up RAM and SSD next. Alright, so let's pick up memory first. So we're gonna go for the DDR5. I remember our motherboard has 4 slots, so we don't need to populate all of the 4 slots right away. We can get away by just buying 2 sticks, just so we can stick to the budget. So let's see, we're gonna go low to high. And for capacity, because we do want, let's see what we have up for 32 gigs. So we got 5200. We go a bit higher. Okay, so we got non-RGB Corsair 6000 megahertz 32 gigs for 149, which it's not too bad. Let's see what options do we have for the for 16 gigs. So for 16 gigs, we do have some options, and we even have some RGB options. But the case we're gonna pick will not have a side panel, which means we won't be able to see all of the pretty RGBs. But we all know the RGB comes out of some nook and cranny, and you can always see it. Plus, this is the cheapest 6000 megahertz we can see. So if we go back, so the 32 was 149, so that's $50 more. So let's just pick the pick 16 for now, because that's more than enough for all of the tasks we're gonna do. And that's brought our total up to 1300. So we got about $200 left to do everything else. I don't think we can make it, but let's see. I'm hopeful we should be able to do it. Because I saw some cases that do come with power supply, so we might consider those. Because PC Case Gear has a lot of good selection of cases. So we want to look for some storage next. So we are going to pick NVMe. Gen 4 is more than enough for us. We're gonna go low to high. Form factor, that's okay, because no one should be stocking the other SSDs anymore. And let's just look at the 1 terabyte options. Okay, so we got $85. That's the base price, and that's 5000 writes and 4800 reads. So pretty good, I would say. Let's see what we see for 2 terabytes. Okay, 159, so we got an extra $60 there. I think for our budget we're gonna stick with 1 TB. And Gen 4, is this Gen 4? Yes, Gen 4. Yeah, let's pick this because this will sit right in our budget, and we should be closing up. Yeah, we are. Okay, let's pick a case next. All right, so lastly, let's look at cases. So we can go all models, and we want a case that comes with a PSU included. Okay, so looks like there's a Cooler Master case, not bad, and that is the only option. Well, there is this option here, but that's a bit pricey. It will just blow up a budget, because we can't compromise on our CPU and GPU, so we might as well do it on the case. So it says it's 500 watts for PSU. I think we should be good, given our card would only be about 150 and the CPU should be around 60. So we should have enough juice to power everything. And our total's coming up to 1490. One thing we need to check is to check the compatibility of our components. So the GPU is, where's the other side of the GPU? Do they mention the size somewhere? They should. Let's find out. Okay, so we got 200 watts. Okay, that's doable. And it's 315, so it's pretty large, and about a kilo. So yeah, pretty heavy too. And the case that we picked has, oh, so it has some RGB. Cool. So we don't have a bare-bone case, so we got some RGB action happening at the front. And the GPU clearance is 344, so we should be good with that front. Yeah, plus the GPU only takes in one 8-pin connector, so we should be fine, even having a smaller. And does this come with this adapter? I don't know. It is included. Okay, so that's good. That's good if you're worried about the sag, because it's about a kilo-ish, and plus it's gonna look neat, and it sort of matches the whole Intel color scheme with the blue. But one thing I was thinking of that we totally forgot is the CPU cooler. So let's have a look. So cooling, CPU cooling. We don't need something that's overly pricey, because we just want something that can keep our CPU cool, because this thing doesn't come with a CPU at all, with the CPU cooler at all. So 5.2, let's have a look at quick specs here to see what we can expect, what sort of heat output we can expect. Okay, so 125, that's definitely high. So yeah, I think we got ourselves in a tight corner here, so we might have to go up a budget. Okay, so deep cool's there. Can we see some kind of tower cooler? And tech, yeah, no, that's too small. That's gonna be a 90 mil fan. So that looks like 120 mil. Yeah, it is 120. Okay. Thermal right. Yeah. Okay. Looks like there's a lot of thermal right options available now. Yeah, I think we just spent too much on our CPU. Which I think we sort of went with the bare minimum with everything else. If we do drop our CPU lower to the non-KF version, we're gonna lose 4 cores at a cost of about $50-ish. But if you're really tight on budget, you could do that, or you can just stretch the budget to 1550. Let's actually do it, push it out to 1550, so we have a system that's not gonna fail us and heat up. So let's just keep scrolling and see what we can get. So this sort of makes our budget to about $60-ish. Okay, so let's see what we can find up to $60. Okay, so we are seeing some Arctic stuff, so it's good. A 120 mil water cooling. I guess you could actually use this too, being a single a single fan, 120 mil. There should be enough for just for the CPU. Okay, so we do have peerless SS and mini. Might actually get this, because that's, or you could just go with the main Thermalright peerless SS, and because I've actually used this on my 7600X, and yeah, it works pretty good. And apparently, yeah, let's actually go with this, and that's gonna be right on point of 1550. Yes, it is. We got $1 left, so yeah, you can have some chocolates for that. Yeah, cool. So that's it for this build, and yeah, so we got a Core Ultra 5 processor, we got a B860 motherboard, we got a brand new ARC B50 GPU which has 12 gigs of RAM, so we should be able to play all of the games that we want at 1440p high. We got 16 gigs of RAM with 2 slots spare, so and we got a 1 terabyte NVMe, and plus we got a nice brushed metal looking case from Cooler Master, and a nice big tower cooler that's gonna keep our CPU cool. All right, so I think I'm pretty happy with all of the parts that we got for the budget and for our all Intel build in this price. But I don't think you can do better than this unless Intel starts dropping the price of this, and it's not gonna be for quite some time, because Intel likes just hold on to their prices for a very long time. Okay, so that will do it for this video. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something good, and you know what parts to buy if you're trying to put a PC together which has all the Intel components. I would also link a PC part pickers guide, link in the bottom of the description. Feel free to check it out, and yeah, please support our channel. We are brand new, so we don't have parts to build computers, but soon we will definitely do live building, which will be good, so we can show the process as well. I'm really looking forward to that. In the meantime, you guys take care, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.